It's my feel-good breakfast show.
But right now, we're turning our attention to our motor vehicles, and I'm sure you would agree with me, one of the most frustrating things when you're a kid is when you are building something, let's say, with Lego, and at the end of the day, you realize that something is completely wrong, but you don't know what. Well, the answer is you actually left out a piece or two. Now, this actually applies to our motor vehicles as well, because especially when it comes to the brakes. Now, Graeme visited Bertus Steyn, our federal Mogul expert, and he tells us exactly why you should use all of the parts in the box.
On the road, millions of braking systems work to keep motorists safe every day. Whether your brakes are maintained by an expert or you do the work at home, it's important to make sure all the parts are present and working.
We know that you can maintain your own brake system, and it's as easy as picking up a box of brake pads. But looking inside the box, there are a number of components in there, and we want to make sure that you use every single one of them, and correctly, of course. And if you listen carefully today, you can also score yourself a cash prize. But we'll give you those details at the end of the insert. Batty, welcome back. The big question, what's in the box?
Whatever's in the box, we always must fit it. In this case, this set of pads is for bucky application. We've got the anti-rattle plates in there, and also the new bolts that tighten the caliper to the cradle itself.
Now, you've already got bolts, you've already got calipers. What's the point in replacing them with new ones?
With heat involved with the braking system, it actually compromises the structure of the anti-rattle plates, and that results in that plates losing their strength to keep the pads in the correct place and keeping them from rattling. And also the bolts, you need to replace those bolts because it's a safety critical part of the vehicle. We want to replace as much as possible to ensure that the system is safe to use.
There are a lot of components out here. I know that the kits do vary. What are some of the other components that we might find?
Well, in some cases, something like the wear indicators that you need to replace after the period of operation on the vehicle. On some of the German spec vehicles, you've got more than one wear indicator. So it's critical to change little things like this that's spec'd specifically for that vehicle in the packaging itself.
If you're unsure about the components inside the kit, make sure you ask the expert at the store where you make the purchase before commencing work on your vehicle.
Now, I know I'm being a little bit cheeky here. Some of it does look a bit like window dressing. Do we really have to use every single thing that's in there?
We pack 132 part numbers with specific kits for those applications, and therefore we need to replace all the components as far as possible to ensure that ultimately yourself and your occupants are safe in the vehicle itself.
Ultimately, there are no shortcuts. If there's something left in the box, chances are you have made a mistake. Recheck your work. Now, I hope you've been listening carefully, because you could win yourself R1,000 cash. Your first stop is to go to the Ferodo South Africa Facebook page. Look out for a very easy question relating to this insert. Answer it correctly and you could be a winner. The competition opens at noon today, closes just before midnight on Monday, and of course T's and C's apply. But you can't enter, eh?
You're in control with Ferodo.